Hello everyone, welcome back on the Agri Adventures program. This is Simone Berliat and I'm gonna be your host. Today we're gonna have a chat with Koen Janssens, a young winemaker and sommelier with 15 years experience coming from Belgium. He has been creating wine and natural wines, and during this interview we will speak with him about his wine styles, the choice of his history and why he has done that, and few interesting facts about the wine world. Enjoy it.
So my name in some are foreigner. My name is Koen Janssens, but you say Koen Janssens. I'm born and raised in Belgium. I'm from the north, from Antwerp. I came to Australia about 8 years ago, and I'm a certified somm. So until, let's say, maybe 2 years ago, I worked in hospitality. So I did Michelin stars back in Europe, and I also worked in different countries like the Netherlands, Belgium, and France. And then in Australia, I worked a bit in Sydney. I worked in Key Restaurant and Bloodwood before jumping to SA and working at Bistro Dom, Prez, Africola, and a few other venues.
Yeah.
And it's because of one winemaker, actually actually a gang, the NST gang. I'm not sure if you know them, the next natural selection theory. Unfortunately, that don't exist anymore. It's Tom Shobrook, Lucy Margot, Anton Klopper, James Erskine, and rest in peace, Sam Hughes. He unfortunately passed away 5 years ago now, 4 years ago, 5 years. And because I knew natural wine already in Europe, but I've never seen anything from Australia. And as maybe you can relate, but as a European and being in Europe, you don't see much Australian wine. I'm talking about 10 years ago. So I didn't know much about Australian wine. And then coming here, meeting these 4 people, and then asking James Erskine on an event, can I do vintage with you? That's how it started for me. That's where my winemaking story started. So in 2013, I did vintage with James Erskine, You're My Wines, and Lucy Margot after that in the same year. Then I jumped to Lucy Margot in 14 with Coda Barrels. And in 15, 16, and 17, I worked at Spinifex, where I also started one brand called Bink, and my other brand, because I've got another one called Yeti and the Coconut. That's me too. So with Yeti and the Coconut, there's 2 of us. There's Dave Geyer, who's the Yeti, and I'm the Coconut. Because we don't make red wine for Yeti and the Coconut. It's only white wine, orange wine, and rosé. And then Bink is just me, and it came along because Peter Shell told me every vintage that you can make wine and you have the grapes and you don't do it is a vintage that you'll never get back. So that's when I started Bink, which is more just me. It's daunting sometimes, but yeah, I love it. It's just me, myself, and I making some more natural, biodynamic, organic, whatever the word people are using now these days is. That's the kind of style of wine I'm making. That's me in a nutshell, basically.
Well, I can say that you've concentrated a lot of things in one pocket of 2.5 minutes, mind, because you speak about biodynamic, you speak about organic, you come out with the orange wines. We will speak about the skin content with white wines that over here is not done, it's done rarely, which will be really interesting. Also, I thought you were going to speak about Pinot Gris, because a lot of people, they don't know the Pinot Gris is gray. That's just something that it's
That's
difficult.
There's a whole new can of worms, because Gris is a red variety, but it doesn't give color. It's like Sauvignon Gris or Grenache Gris. That's why it's called Gris in French, grey. Because if you put Pinot Gris on skins, it becomes like bright, like pineapple orange, not pineapple orange, blood orange. That's the color you're gonna get. And it's the same with Sauvignon Gris, which is not a variety in Australia, but more in South Africa. Then you have Grenache Gris, which the guys at Yangara play with, and there's a new other plantings, all plantings in the Barossa. But yeah, that's a whole different thing.
Okay, now I was trying to understand what you mean as per natural wine on this wine. Like, what have you done different?
So natural wine is, I don't think that's my take on the whole wine industry and the movement of natural wine, which I think started in Australia about 8 years ago or 10 years ago, is about rules. And Australians, especially when it comes to certain age group individuals with certain type of skin love rules. They love rules because they can control and manipulate the rules to their benefit. And natural wine, organic wine, biodynamic wine in general doesn't have many rules. It's more, I'm going to say a lifestyle. It's more a philosophy. So in my opinion, natural wine, organic wine, or biodynamic, for me, it starts in the vineyard. And I want to use systemics. That's my main rule. No systemics. Why? I'm a father. I got a son who's 5 years old. We live in a polluted world. I'm not a hippie. I've got a Volkswagen Amarok. I've got a Ute. Just saying that if I can minimalize my impact on the world by having 5-6 vineyards that I use and work with, and eliminating any systemic or pollutants in the vineyard, and just letting nature control it more often, why not? Because if I can create a tiny touch, a better world for my son, to give him a better space of, or air just in general, then why not? And that's my philosophy about it. I'm not a hippie. It has to make sense too. Like, natural wine is more a way of life. And that's the vineyard side. And the wine side is, I don't use any tartaric acid, citric acid, proteins, enzymes, wood chips. The only thing I use is sulfur, because I don't have the education to make it a preservative-free wine, because it's really, really, really hard. And even the word preservative-free is a bit of a joke. But yeah, it's so the wine that you've got is Sergeant J, from my personal brand called Bink. So to quick describe the whole thing, the B and is actually, it's the old car sticker, the old car sticker for Belgium. So in Italy, it's I, just the letter I. In Belgium, it's the letter B. So my label is the old car sticker during the Cold War for Belgium. And Bink is the nickname for where I'm from in Belgium. So all the cities have nicknames.
Okay.
And among Belgians, we actually refer to each other with our nicknames. So I'll quickly explain the name Sergeant J. So my dad was in the army for his entire life, from age 18 until age 55. And he's one of few people I know that can pick Grenache in any wine. It's quite impressive. So that's why I named the wine after him.
Okay.
And I'm going to say it's a medium-bodied wine. Yes, it has wood. It's aged in old barrels. It's aged in old barrels. They're currently 10 years old, so then they were 8 years old. But a barrel, in my opinion, is not a flavor component. It's to break the wine and rebuild the wine, more the tannins.
Okay.
That's how I look at barrels. Because also in this case, this Grenache is from a block in the Barossa Valley called Sealander. And it's 100-year-old bush vines. Well, they're not bush vines, they're bloody trees. Like, I'm 6'4", and the vine is bigger than me. It's insane. So they're big berries. It's a very spice-driven wine with a little bit of licorice because of an ancient component now. Fruit-forward components that I think are going to be very soft and elegant, and very gentle tannins. Because I'm not a serious person, so I'm not going to make serious wine. That's also, I want to, transfer that philosophy into my winemaking more than anything else.
How you use the wine?
That's a good question. That's a very good question, actually.
Like, how will you use it?
Well, I would call the second one wine. It's also a cloudy one, so I don't filter or fine or filter anything like that. So it's a cloudy Grenache, and it's quite like the last time I had this now a couple of months ago. I was actually blown away how intense it was. Not full on like Barossa Shiraz, but it was very elegant with a lot of layers, like almost peeling an onion. So I think you have to warm up your palate already to wine, so you're expecting something. But my main thing with wine, and that's all the wines that I make, if it's yet in the coconut or with Bink, is I want the wine just to give you enjoyment in where you are at that moment in time in your life. So if you're having a conversation with someone, I want you to pick up that glass, have a sip, have 2 seconds and be like, oh my fucking God. And then your conversation starts again. That's all I want. I just want 2 seconds in your life that's ingrained in your history.
Okay.
And that's it. I'm not searching for, and then I think if your wine, as a winemaker, if my wine gives someone a memory to a certain location, like next time they see that bottle in the bottle shop and be like, we drank that wine XYZ with those people, I think that's for me, it's the best thing ever. But coming back to your question, I think it should be as a second, have something beforehand and have my wine after that. That's what I think.
Okay. And I assume is a wine that you eat.
Oh, nah, not per se. Oh,
no, really?
Can.
Okay.
In all fairness, I'd say if I would, you're a som, I'm a som. We look at wine as building components, like they're bricks and the food is the mortar, or other way around, how you want to play it. If any, I would say I would love to have this wine with roasted vegetables like carrots, parsnip, beetroot, with a soft, salty feta cheese, like slightly melting on top of it, and underneath like a little labneh. That's it. That's what I would drink this wine with.
Oh, by the way, cork.
Yeah, there you go. Goddamn Portuguese people. It's why Australians don't like cork is they bought. Oh, it's a bit both ways. Or they bought shit corks, or Portugal gave them shit corks. So it's whatever answer benefits you most.
Yes.
Because in the end of the day, if people say cork is bad, but look at all the biggest wines in the world. Look at Chateau Margaux, Haut-Briand, Lafite Rôti, le Rothschild, Mouton Rothschild, Romanée Conti, Annie Corton, la Loubise Leroy, Prévalent, La Tourbonne, Chateau Yquem, and any champagne, you pick any champagne, they're all cork. All of them. Look at the biggest, well, maybe, I'm not sure about all the Italians, but like the big like Tignello or Soldera, like big Brunello guys, they're all cork. Gaia. I think all the top range, all the Barbarescos and all those guys, that's all cork. The thing with cork is back then it was the only option. Now there's more options. I'm happy that entry-level, fast-consuming wines are under Stelvin or are under those closures because they're more environmental friendly, because they're mass-produced, while cork you need a treat, basically. Even though you have recycled corks, like there's Diam or there's Vink or vice versa.
Yep.
Those corks still for me are not entry level. They should sit a touch above that, like wines that should be aged between 2 and 5 years. And then top boy cork should be for top range wines. Because in the end of the day, people say like, yeah, but Stelvin ages. No, it doesn't. It's not the same as cork. You're gonna say a robot is the same as a human? No, it's not true. So,
well, quick, intense, and I'm really looking forward to taste your wine tomorrow, and I will probably go and taste some other of yours.
Look, I'm the same as you. I graduated hospitality high school in 05. I'm a certified som. As you, I've tasted, pretty sure you've tasted more big boy Italians. Like, people ask you, what's the craziest wine you ever drank? I was like, well, if you look at value, I once tasted, I'm going to say I tasted, a Romanée Conti 78. And it was 12, this is now in 2004, and it was 12,800 euros back then. That's the craziest wine I ever had. Or actually, there's one more crazy. It's an 1867 Chateau Canon from the Bordeaux region. That was still amazing. It was mind blowing. Wow. But at the end of the day, that's a part of this industry too. It's people say sometimes to wank. I think it's called memories. Like, if as a winemaker you can give a memory to anyone, anywhere in the world, in their lifetime, yes. Amen. That's beautiful. That's good. So yeah.
Yes, it is. It's amazing. Okay. So
Grazie.
Thank you very much. Grazie.
Ciao. Ciao. Ciao.
Ciao. So I hope that you enjoyed the interview with Koen Janssens and the opportunity to learn more about his wine style, natural wines, and the sustainability behind it. If you enjoyed the experience, please don't forget to share and like, and then don't lose the opportunity to visit agriadventures.com.au, where more experiences correlated with wine, virtual and non, are available for you to enjoy. See you next time on Agri Adventures.